Nothing can defeat you if you know this. Remember, what I'm about to tell you is not motivation. It's not some sweet, feel-good lie. This is a weapon, it is a shield. It is an armor for your mind. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to collapse at the first sign of trouble, while others walk through fire and come out stronger? The difference is simple. The weak collapse because they walk into the battlefield of life completely naked. Their hearts are exposed, their hopes are unprotected. Their illusions about how the world should be are fragile, and life in its indifferent power smashes those illusions into dust. They expect kindness from everyone they meet, but they are met with cruelty. They expect fairness, but they are confronted with corruption. They expect unwavering loyalty, but they are met with betrayal. And when these things happen, they cry out in shock. How could this happen to me? As if life has personally treated them unfairly. But here is the hard truth. Life was never fair. Life was never loyal. Life was never kind. It is a force of nature, like a storm or a river. It doesn't have intentions. It just is. The weak collapse because they never understood this fundamental rule of the game. But the man who knows, the man who understands, he walks into battle armored. He walks into betrayal expecting the knife. He walks into alliances expecting the possibility of treachery. He walks into love knowing that feelings and desires can shift over time. And so, when these things inevitably happen, he does not collapse. He does not cry out in shock. He does not beg for a different reality. He simply moves forward. He is not surprised. And the man who is never surprised is the man who can never be truly broken. This is the core of why Niccolò Machiavelli wrote his truth centuries ago. He was hated for it, feared for it. He was accused of being too dark, too cruel, too ruthless. But if you look closer, you'll see something different. He wasn't cruel. He was clear. He did not invent the darker side of human nature, he exposed it. He did not create betrayal, he simply revealed its existence. He did not encourage corruption, he just showed that it has always existed and always will. This is why the rulers who listened to him lasted, while the idealistic rulers who ignored his warnings fell. History is littered with examples. Think of Alexander the Great. He trusted no one completely. He rewarded loyalty generously, but he always watched for the signs of betrayal. That is why he conquered the known world before he turned 30. He knew. Now contrast him with Julius Caesar. A brilliant general, a charismatic leader, but he trusted Brutus. He believed that their friendship, their shared history, was stronger than raw ambition. The knives in the Senate proved him tragically wrong. He did not know. His surprise was his downfall. Look at the infamous Borgia family in Renaissance Italy. They were ruthless, cunning, and prepared for every possible betrayal. They survived scandals, powerful enemies, wars, and countless conspiracies. How? Because they didn't waste time crying for fairness. They didn't beg for loyalty. They expected betrayal and planned for it. They knew. Now, fast forward to today. Do you really think the world has changed that much? Do you think human ambition has suddenly disappeared? Do you think greed has been erased from our DNA? No, it just wears new clothes. It hides behind technology. It puts on a friendly mask and hides behind smiling social media profiles. But underneath, it is the same engine that has driven history for thousands of years. We see it every day. The dedicated worker who waits for fairness in the office is crushed when the dishonest, scheming colleague gets the promotion. The lover who expects eternal storybook devotion is shattered when betrayal arrives unexpectedly. The good citizen who waits patiently for justice is broken when they see corruption win again and again. And they all ask the same question, how could this happen? But the person with a Machiavellian understanding of the world just smiles quietly to themselves. They knew it could happen. They knew it would happen. And because they knew, they already had their next move prepared while everyone else was still in shock. This is the ultimate lesson. You cannot control the storm, it's impossible. But you can build yourself into a fortress so that when the storm comes, it cannot break you. You cannot prevent the possibility of betrayal. But you can expect it and prepare for it, which robs it of its power to destroy you. You cannot erase cruelty from the world. But you can make yourself immune to its sting. Do you see the power in this? True knowledge is power. Not the trivia you learn in school, but the kind of knowledge that strips away your comforting illusions. The kind that cuts like a knife at first, because it forces you to see the world as it is, not as you wish it were. It's a painful truth, but it's a truth that protects you forever. Imagine two men walking through life. The first man believes the world is fair and people are inherently good. He works hard, he trusts openly, he loves unconditionally, he obeys the rules without question. And when betrayal inevitably comes, he collapses. When he faces injustice, he cries. When he meets cruelty, he is broken, his entire worldview shatters. Now, picture the second man. He believes the world is a ruthless place driven by self-interest. He still works hard, but he works with strategy. He still trusts, but he trusts with caution. He still loves, but he loves with a keen awareness of human fallibility. He obeys the rules, but with a calculated understanding of the system, and so, when betrayal comes, he is calm. When injustice appears, he adapts. When he meets cruelty, he endures. Now, ask yourself, who is truly free? The one who lives in a beautiful prison of lies, or the one who walks free in the harsh reality of the truth? The answer is clear. Nothing can defeat you if you know this. Nothing, because every potential knife in the back is already accounted for. Every possible betrayal is already calculated into your plans. Every disappointment is already expected. And when you expect something, it cannot destroy you. It's just an event, not a catastrophe. The weak man cries, "I can't believe this happened." The strong man says, "Of course it happened. I knew it would." And now, here's my next move. This is Machiavelli's true gift to you. It is not comfort. It is not kindness. It is something far more valuable. It is invincibility. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that challenges you to become stronger. See you in the next one. Listen to me. Nothing can defeat you if you know this one truth. Let that sink in. This is the line that separates the powerless from the powerful, those who are crushed by life from those who bend life to their will. Most people think they're strong until reality hits them like a freight train. They believe loyalty is forever until they get stabbed in the back. They believe fairness will win until injustice steals everything from them. They believe love is eternal until it evaporates overnight, and then they shatter. Why? Because they built their lives on illusions, and illusions always break. They were unprepared for what was always coming. But the person who knows the truth, they can't be defeated, because they expect the storm, they anticipate betrayal. They prepare for cruelty. And because they expect it, they build themselves like a fortress. Every wall is reinforced. Every door is locked. They don't wait for kindness to save them. They prepare for cruelty to strike. And when it does, they don't break. They endure. They adapt. They grow stronger. Here is the hard lesson. Understanding human nature is your armor. And those people walk into the battlefield of life completely naked, blind, and defenseless. They aren't destroyed because their enemies are so strong, but because they themselves are so naive. The moment you stop being naive, the moment you let go of fantasies, nothing can destroy you. Machiavelli said it plainly. People are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, and greedy. But he didn't despair, he smiled. Because knowing this gives you the ultimate advantage. The person who still believes in perfect loyalty, absolute honesty, and eternal gratitude will be betrayed, deceived, and abandoned. But the person who expects it, they can't be broken. They smile when betrayal comes because they already factored it in. They nod when deception appears because they already planned for it. Do you see the difference? The weak cry out, "I can't believe this happened." The strong say, "Of course it happened." Now here's my next move. Think about history's greatest tragedies. Think of rulers who trusted too much. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia trusted the loyalty of his people. When the storm came, his entire family was lost. His faith in fairness was his downfall. Think of the leaders who believed in mercy, only to be devoured by ruthless rivals. They thought their goodness would protect them. It didn't. Their mercy became their weakness. Now look at the survivors, the ones who outlasted their enemies. They never begged for fairness. They never relied on mercy. They ruled through perception, strategy, and a cold understanding of how people truly operate. They lasted because they knew the truth. This applies directly to your life, right now. At your job, don't expect fairness. You can work harder than anyone and still be overlooked. Don't be surprised. Instead, learn the game. Perception often matters more than effort. Influence matters more than raw talent. If you know this, you can't be defeated by disappointment. You won't despair when others get ahead. You'll already be calculating your next move. In your relationships, do not expect perfection. Don't believe empty promises that love will never fade or loyalty will never break. Desires shift, temptations arise, people change. The weak collapse when they're let down. The strong simply adapt because they always knew that human connection is a dynamic, shifting force. That knowledge makes them calm, uncheckable, and untouchable. In society, don't expect pure justice. Systems don't exist to protect you. They exist to protect themselves. The weak scream at corruption and demand fairness, but nothing changes. The strong see corruption for what it is, a natural part of power dynamics. And instead of crying, they learn how to navigate it, how to protect themselves within it, and sometimes, how to use it. The person who knows this truth cannot be defeated because their strength doesn't rely on others. It doesn't depend on fairness or justice or promises. It relies only on themselves, on their clarity, and their ability to adapt. When your strength comes from within, no outside force can truly destroy you. Think of it like this. The sheep prays the shepherd will protect it. It cries for fairness when the wolf comes, but the wolf never listens. The wolf takes what it needs. The wolf survives. The wolf doesn't beg for the world to change it, masters the world as it is. That is why the wolf endures while the sheep are slaughtered. You must become the wolf, not through pointless cruelty, but through clarity without illusion, through strategy without weakness, through a strength that doesn't depend on anyone's mercy. The truth Machiavelli shares isn't pleasant. It isn't kind, but it is liberating. Because once you accept it, nothing can surprise you. Nothing can break you. Nothing can ever truly defeat you. Yes, you will still face hardship. You will face betrayal. You will face injustice. But instead of collapsing, you will rise. Every betrayal will sharpen you. Every injustice will harden you. Every challenge will make you more formidable. The weak hope for a perfect world that will never exist. The strong master the world as it is. And that is why the strong cannot be defeated. So remember this above all else. Nothing can defeat you if you know the truth of human nature. Nothing. Not friends who become enemies, not partners who betray you, not rivals who conspire against you. All of these things are predictable. And the predictable cannot destroy the prepared. This is the secret the powerful have always known. And if you accept it fully, without fear, without hesitation, you will wear an armor that no blade can pierce. You will become someone who cannot be manipulated, cannot be broken, and cannot be destroyed. You will become untouchable. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that empowers you to master your reality. See you in the next one. Nothing can defeat you if you know this one thing. Nothing. Not betrayal, not injustice, not cruelty, not chaos. Because the thing that breaks most people isn't the event itself, but their illusions about it. They expect loyalty, so betrayal crushes them. They expect fairness, so injustice destroys them. They expect kindness, so cruelty shatters them. But when you remove those illusions, when you see the world for what it truly is, you become unbreakable. This is the secret Machiavelli tried to teach. Life isn't the way you want it to be. Life is the way it is. And only those who accept that reality can survive and thrive. The weak cling to dreams. The strong cling to reality. The weak say, surely people will do the right thing. The strong say, people will do what serves their interests. So I will prepare accordingly. The weak hope the storm will pass. The strong build shelter, sharpen their tools, and learn to move in the rain. The lesson is brutally clear. If you know the truth about human nature, nothing can defeat you. Human beings are driven by fear, by greed, by ambition, by desire. These forces are predictable. They repeat themselves across centuries, across empires, across families. The faces change, the clothes change, the language changes, but the instincts remain exactly the same. And when you know these instincts, you can anticipate them. When you can anticipate them, you can't be surprised. And when you can't be surprised, you can't be defeated. Think about the greatest conquerors in history. Genghis Khan united warring tribes, not because he believed in fairness, but because he understood ambition. He gave men a vision of endless conquest, endless rewards, endless glory. He knew their hunger, and he used it. Caesar did the same. He knew the Roman people craved bread and entertainment, so he gave them both. Napoleon knew soldiers craved honor, so he fed their pride until they would march across all of Europe for him. These leaders were never blind. They never begged. They never waited for things to happen. They understood the core of human nature, and because of that, nothing could stop them. Now, contrast that with those who believed in illusions. Kings who trusted corrupt advisors. Generals who relied on loyalty instead of leverage. Nations that thought treaties guaranteed their safety. They were all swept away, humiliated, forgotten. Why? Because they didn't know the truth. They believed the lie that people are guided by fairness and goodness. They were wrong. And when you're in a position of power, being wrong is fatal. Machiavelli teaches you to never depend on illusions. Never think a promise will protect you. Never think morality will restrain your enemies. Never think loyalty will last forever. Always assume people will act in their own self-interest. Always assume allies might abandon you if the cost of helping is too high. Always assume that behind the mask is a hidden desire. If you assume this, you will never be broken. Most people fail because they are shocked. Shocked that a friend betrayed them, shocked that a partner lied, shocked that a rival used dirty tactics, shocked that life didn't reward their hard work. But why should they be shocked? Was there ever a promise that life would be fair? Was there ever a guarantee that people would be good? No, these are childish beliefs, and childish beliefs lead to adult suffering. If you know the truth, you expect betrayal. You expect deception. You expect unfairness. And because you expect it, you plan for it. You never rely completely on a single person. You never expose your deepest weaknesses. You never reveal your entire plan. You guard your power, you guard your mind, you guard your position, and when betrayal comes, it can't destroy you. When injustice comes, it can't break you. When cruelty comes, it can't shatter you. Instead, you are already prepared, already hardened, already ready to respond. This is why nothing can defeat you if you know this truth. Because defeat is a collapse of the mind long before it's a collapse of the body. The person clinging to illusions breaks instantly. The person who has abandoned illusions cannot be broken. They're like iron. They might bend, but they will not shatter. Look at the corporate world today. People expect loyalty from companies. They give 20 years of service and are shocked when they're laid off. But why be shocked? The company's loyalty was always to its profit, not to the employee. The person who knew this truth was never surprised. Instead, they built their own path, their own skills, their own independence. Look at politics. Voters cry out for fairness, honesty, and justice. And yet, politicians often disappoint. Those who believe the promises collapse into despair. Those who knew the truth. They adapt, they learn the system, they see beyond the mask. They are never truly defeated because they never believed the illusion in the first place. Look at relationships. People expect perfection, eternal loyalty, and unchanging love. But human beings are complex. We change. Desires shift. Temptations appear. When a relationship falters, the naive person collapses, while the strong one simply nods because they always knew human nature isn't simple or pure. This doesn't make them bitter. It makes them powerful because they are never broken by what is simply part of life. Machiavelli's lesson isn't to hate human nature. It is to master it, to use it, to anticipate it, to accept it so completely that nothing surprises you. That is how you become undefeatable. When others break from disappointment, you remain steady. When others collapse from betrayal, you remain standing. When others cry over injustice, you continue moving forward. Nothing can defeat the one who sees reality clearly. So remember this, the world doesn't run on fairness. It runs on power. It runs on ambition. It runs on fear, greed, and desire. And if you know this, if you live by this truth, then no one can trick you, no one can use you, no one can break you. You may lose battles, yes, but you will never lose the war. Because the only true defeat is a mental collapse. And when you carry no illusions, your mind never collapses. Nothing can defeat you if you know this truth. Not people, not systems, not fate, because you will always be ready. You will always be resilient. You will always be untouchable. That is the dark, powerful lesson of Machiavelli. And if you accept it, then no matter what happens, you will not be destroyed. You will rise again and again until the world itself bends to your strength. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that challenges the way you see the world. Stay strong and stay aware. There is one truth that separates the weak from the powerful, the forgotten from the remembered, the prey from the predator. If you understand this truth, nothing can defeat you. But if you ignore it, you will forever live in chains, begging for mercy in a world that shows none. The truth is simple, but it is dark. And that truth is this: the world is not ruled by justice, by goodness, or by fairness. The world is ruled by power, perception, and strategy. Once you truly understand this, once you live by it, once you use it, defeat becomes impossible. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this game centuries ago. He understood that people are not moved by ideals, but by fear, by desire, and by appearances. He knew that the world is a battlefield disguised as a society, and only those who play it with cold, hard calculation can ever rise to the top. Think about it. When you live under the illusion that life should be kind, that people should be fair, you suffer endlessly. You feel cheated, you feel wronged, you feel powerless. But when you see that life is a competition, when you understand that strength is rewarded, that cunning is rewarded, that boldness is rewarded, suddenly you stop expecting mercy. And when you stop expecting mercy, you stop being vulnerable. The secret that makes you undefeatable is not hope, not goodness, not fairness. It is clarity. Crystal clear clarity about human nature, clarity about the unwritten rules of power, clarity about the masks people wear every single day. When you understand that people will betray you if it serves their interests, you are no longer shocked when it happens. When you know that allies are loyal only as long as it benefits them, you are never unprepared when they turn their backs. When you realize that words mean little and actions mean everything, you stop being fooled by empty promises. With this clarity, you cannot be deceived. And if you cannot be deceived, you cannot be destroyed. Look at the giants of history. Empires did not rise by chance. Leaders did not remain in power by luck. They rose because they understood this fundamental truth. They mastered appearances, they mastered fear, they mastered control. Julius Caesar knew it. Alexander the Great knew it. Every great ruler and conqueror understood that the world belongs to those who are willing to see reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. And what about those who refuse to see? They begged for fairness, they relied on loyalty, they trusted in morality, and what happened to them? They were crushed. Their names are footnotes, forgotten by time. History does not remember those who were fair. It remembers those who were strong. Once you truly internalize this, nothing can defeat you. Why? Because you no longer fight battles that don't exist. You no longer cry over illusions. You no longer expect wolves to act like sheep. Instead, you sharpen your own teeth. You study the terrain. You prepare yourself for betrayal, for chaos, for the inevitable conflict. And because you are prepared, you cannot be broken. Most people lose in the game of life because they cling to hope instead of strategy. They think life owes them something. They think the strong will show mercy out of the goodness of their hearts. They think loyalty will last forever. And when these illusions inevitably collapse, they collapse right along with them. But if you carry none of these illusions, you are already miles ahead. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It strengthens you. It confirms what you already knew. Defeat doesn't humiliate you. It teaches you a valuable lesson. Struggle doesn't break you. It hardens you, forging you into something stronger. Machiavelli's dark but powerful lesson is not that people are inherently evil. It is that people are predictable. They act in their own self-interest. They are swayed by fear and by greed. They are blinded by appearances. If you know this, you hold a massive advantage over almost everyone you will ever meet. If you use this knowledge, you can rise above almost anyone. Nothing can defeat the person who is never surprised, never dependent, never blind. Nothing can defeat the one who adapts faster than others, who conceals their true intentions, who waits and strikes only when the moment is perfect. Nothing can defeat the one who understands that, for many, morality is just a costume, fairness is a story told to children, and justice is a tool wielded by the strong to maintain their power. So remember this truth. If you know it, if you live by it, defeat becomes impossible. People will try to betray you, but you will see it coming a mile away. Enemies will try to destroy you, but you will already be 3 steps ahead of their every move. Life will strike you with unfairness, but you will turn that unfairness into fuel for your own strength. The world will throw obstacles in your path, but you will climb over them because you never expected the road to be smooth in the first place. The secret is clarity. The secret is to accept human nature exactly as it is, not as you wish it to be. Once you accept it, you stop being weak. Once you live by it, you stop being breakable. And once you learn to use it, you become undefeatable. That is Machiavelli's dark lesson. Reality is harsh, but once you embrace it, reality begins to bow to you. Nothing can defeat you, because nothing can surprise you. Nothing can shake you, and nothing can ever break you again. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more insights into the hidden rules of power. Until next time, stay sharp.